We all know that Yoda was one of the most powerful Jedi Masters that have ever lived. Both his use in the Force and with the lightsaber were nearly unparalleled throughout the Jedi Order, and he was one of the few Jedi that the newly born Sith Lords truly feared within their hearts. Yoda was one of only a few Jedi that Darth Sidious deemed a true threat, and a Jedi that defeated one of the greatest swordsmen of the era, Count Dooku, on not one, but multiple occasions. However, there was also one crucial weakness that Yoda had, a weakness that actually formed during an apprenticeship of a younger Jedi, and a weakness that we've seen exploited multiple times in Star Wars canon. So welcome back to the channel, everybody, and today we'll be discussing Yoda's greatest weakness. In Star Wars Rebels, we saw that Darth Maul and Ezra formed a deep connection known as a Force bond. This bond formed between the two of them when they merged a Jedi and a Sith holocron together in the pursuit of knowledge. We would later see in the new Star Wars trilogy Rey and Kylo Ren form a very similar Force bond that allowed them to see each other and sometimes even their surroundings. Although they could not physically hurt one another with a Force bond, they could experience visions of the past, present, and sometimes even the future. Of course, the Force bond between Rey and Kylo Ren was formed on Starkiller Base, with the Force bond still being a thing in The Rise of Skywalker. But again, Yoda held a similar bond to someone else. A Force bond has kind of been described between a relationship between a Force wielder and their Kyber crystal. They imprint upon that Kyber crystal, and the same thing can happen between two Force sensitives. The same thing, in fact, again happened with Yoda with a young apprentice known as Dooku. Unfortunately though, Dooku would ultimately turn to the dark side of the Force and embrace a new master in Darth Sidious. But still, that Force bond that he created with Yoda at an extremely young age persisted, and as a result of this, Darth Sidious could actually see certain things that Yoda saw without Yoda's knowledge, as again, Darth Sidious's ultimate plan was to use this Force bond to kill Yoda before the Clone Wars ended. The Force bond was only ever severed when Count Dooku died by the hand of Anakin Skywalker, but because of the Force bond that he shared with Count Dooku, his abilities to see the moves of the Sith were diminished, which is also another reason why he gave Mace Windu a lot of responsibility of hunting down the Sith during the Clone Wars conflict. At the conclusion of the Clone Wars, a Sith ritual was eventually revealed to Count Dooku, a Sith ritual that would allow Darth Sidious to infiltrate the Force bond that the two of them share, and a ritual that Darth Sidious believed would be one of his only opportunities to kill Yoda before his ascension to Emperor of the Galaxy. As again, in Darth Sidious's original plan, he was meant to kill Yoda far before becoming the Emperor. One of Darth Sidious's ultimate goals of the ritual, though, was not simply to kill Yoda, as he believed this would be extremely difficult. It was simply to undermine his will and to make him question his stance as a light side wielder. And even if Yoda did not abandon his stance as a light side wielder, he could at least make him question it, which would weaken him, which was actually ultimately somewhat successful, as it made Yoda trust Anakin Skywalker even less, and revealed the true nature of the dark side of the Force to Yoda, although Yoda was ultimately able to conquer the vision. But still, this plagued Yoda as his ultimate weakness all throughout the Clone Wars conflict, and kept him from achieving all the power that he could have within the light side of the Force during the Clone Wars, thus making the greatest weapon that the Jedi had and greatest light side wielder far weaker during this great conflict. Something, interestingly enough, didn't seem to plague Dooku all that much, but that was Yoda's greatest weakness as Star Wars revealed to us, and an interesting fact that many fans seem to have forgotten, that far before Rey and Kylo Ren, this Force bond was introduced in the form of Yoda and Dooku. But what are your guys' thoughts on this and the Force bond that the two of them share, and how drastically do you think it affected Yoda during the Clone Wars conflict?
Always, thank you guys so much for watching. May the Force be with you, and have a great day.